Welcome to the Haunting Hour. Let's enjoy the story.
Jimmy Dujald's son, better known as MrBeast, was always pushing boundaries. His challenges had gone from extravagant giveaways to near impossible feats, captivating millions worldwide. But when his team proposed the haunted $1 million abandoned amusement park challenge, Jimmy couldn't resist. It was perfect for Halloween and would surely go viral. If you want to know what happened with him during his challenge, then watch till the end. Let's hear the whole story from Timid Tommy.
Hello guys, I'm Timid Tommy, and now I'm going to tell you the whole story of MrBeast The Last challenge. In the heart of an abandoned amusement park, MrBeast and his crew gathered, excitement buzzing in the air. Known for his outrageous challenges, MrBeast had promised his followers a video like no other, a game that would test the limits of fear and endurance. The challenge was simple: survive a night in the eerie park, where tales of ghostly apparitions and sinister events echoed in the shadows. As the sun set, the park transformed. Creepy carnival music drifted through the air, the old rides creaking like forgotten memories. The crew set up cameras and lights, ready to capture every moment. The rules were laid out. They would have to remain in the park until dawn, exploring its haunted attractions while completing various dares that would earn them cash prizes. With a glint of mischief in his eye, MrBeast declared, "The last one standing wins $100,000. The crew cheered, their spirits high as they split up, determined to conquer their fears. The first hour was filled with laughter. They ventured into the haunted house, where jump scares were scripted, and ghostly actors played their roles well. But as night deepened, the atmosphere shifted. The laughter faded, replaced by an unsettling silence. One by one, they began to disappear. At first, it was just Carl, who had wandered off to explore a forgotten funhouse. A scream echoed through the park, chilling the remaining crew members to their bones. They rushed to find him, only to stumble upon his camera, recording nothing but static and distorted images of shadowy figures lurking behind him. Panic surged as they searched for their friend, calling out his name, but only the wind answered. With each passing hour, another crew member vanished. Chris was next, last seen near the Ferris wheel. His laughter had turned to terrified cries that abruptly cut off, leaving only the haunting creak of rusted metal. They found his backpack, the last trace of his presence, but there was no sign of him. MrBeast, once filled with bravado, now felt a deep-seated dread. The thrill of the challenge had transformed into a nightmare, and he could feel the oppressive weight of unseen eyes watching them. Determined to find a way out, he rallied the remaining crew members. "We need to stick together," he urged, glancing nervously over his shoulder. But as they huddled together, the lights flickered, casting long shadows that twisted and danced. Suddenly, the amusement park erupted into chaos. The rides began to move on their own, the carousel spinning faster and faster, and the laughter of children echoed, distorted and mocking. The crew screamed as a ghostly figure appeared on the carousel, a girl in a tattered dress, her eyes hollow and empty. She pointed at them, her voice a chilling whisper, "You shouldn't have come here." Desperate to escape, MrBeast led the remaining crew to the park's entrance, but the gates were locked, as if held shut by an unseen force. Panic rose, and they could hear distant cries echoing in the night, the voices of their friends, trapped within the park's twisted games. Realizing they were part of a much darker challenge, MrBeast's mind raced. They had awakened something in this forsaken place, something that thrived on fear. The remaining crew decided to confront the source. They gathered in the center of the park, lighting flashlights and chanting the names of their missing friends, hoping to bring them back. As they called out, the ground trembled and a thick fog enveloped them. In the midst of the haze, shadowy figures emerged, their forms twisting and writhing. The crew gasped as they recognized the faces of their lost friends, their eyes wide with terror. They were trapped in a purgatory of MrBeast's own making, ensnared in a challenge that had gone horribly wrong. With one last push of courage, MrBeast shouted, "We won't leave anyone behind!" The shadows recoiled, shrieking in agony as light spilled from his hand, illuminating the darkness. But the more they fought, the more they realized the true horror of their predicament. They could only save one. In that moment of desperation, Mr. Beast made a choice. He turned to the remaining crew, determination in his eyes. "I'll stay. You guys get out. You have to tell everyone what happened here." As he stepped forward, the shadows lunged, dragging him into their abyss, his screams swallowed by the darkness. The surviving crew burst through the gates just as dawn broke, the park fading behind them, now silent and still. They stumbled into the light, forever marked by the terror of that night. But Mr. Beast was gone. The world would see the last video he recorded, but only as a challenge that ended in disaster. No one would know the truth behind the haunted park and the price of fame. Days turned into weeks, but the memories haunted them. They knew they would never escape the guilt of abandoning their friend, and in their dreams, they heard his voice calling, "Help me." And every time they turned on their phones, they were reminded of the challenge they had all signed up for, the last challenge that became a nightmare from which they could never wake. Hope you guys enjoyed the story, so give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and if you guys want me to cover your story, let me know. Send the true story of yours, please send it through the email. The email is given in description box.